Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is my second video and I'm going to talk about why do people behave differently online and in the real world. But before starting the video, I just want to share a fact which says that an average human spends around 3 hours a day online, and if we calculate it, then by the time he reaches around 60 years of his age, he would have spent around 6.2 years of his life online. And there are some people who behave very differently online and offline, so this switching of behavior from online to offline can have a very huge impact on their brain. I'm sure you must have met some people who are extremely extrovert in their online world. They just have a lot of friends, they talk to you continuously, they share a lot of information with you. But when you meet them in real person, they are completely different. They are shy, they are awkward, they are not confident enough, and they are not even close to the personality that they had shown in the online world. This phenomena is known as online disinhibition effect, which means that shedding of your fears. Just like that, it has also found out that there are a lot of trollers and people who abuse online. They tend to be very shy and introvert in their real life, but they vent out a lot of their anger and frustration online, and they just comment on other people's picture, preferably on celebrities' picture. This phenomena is known as online toxic disinhibition, where you express yourself in a very toxic and hateful manner. Now let's find out why do people change behavior online and in the real world. Maybe they are just comfortable online, and maybe they are comfortable online in a very toxic way. So here are the reasons. The very first reason is disassociative anonymity, which means that you don't know me. And you must have seen a lot of these abusive comments on celebrities' pictures are from fake IDs, which means that they just change everything about themselves. They just hide under these fake IDs because they don't want to show who they really are. And this is how people are misusing their online platform and doing things which they would never do offline. In fact, in some cases, people also say that those behavior aren't me at all, and in psychology, this term is known as disassociation. The second factor is invisibility, which means that you can't see me. In all these social media apps, be it Facebook, Instagram or WhatsApp, people can't really see each other. People might know a lot about you, but they really can't see you. And this anonymity gives you a power to express yourself more freely. For example, in the real world, if you are about to say something offensive and people start making faces, you might stop midway because you don't want people to judge you. And this doesn't happen in the online world because you can't see the face of other person, and you start expressing yourself and you feel liberated in the online world. The third factor is dissociative imagination, which means that your real world and your online world are completely different, and what you do in one cannot affect the other one. For example, you are friends with someone who is from another country and you are sharing a lot of information with them, and then you think that both the lives are completely different because I am living here and other person who is my very good friend is living somewhere else, so nothing is connected. My real world and my online world is completely different. Fourth number is minimizing authority, which means that we all are equal. People think that since we all are using the same platform, we all are equal, and yes, we all are equal, but in the real life there are some powers and authorities which a person has, and you might not have that power and authority. For example, once Priyanka Chopra was brutally trolled for wearing a knee-length skirt, but if the same trollers come in front of her, they can't say anything to her because she has some power and authority. But since you don't have any hierarchy in social media, people think that they can say anything to anyone, which is absolutely wrong. Now comes the most important question, which is who we truly are. Are we the one that we show in the online world or the one which we are in the real life? So here you can see a circle, which is your internet usage, and there is a small circle inside the big circle, which is your social media usage, be it Facebook, WhatsApp or Instagram. And if we exclude that social media circle, then remaining part is your Amazon search history, Google search history, YouTube search history, etc, etc. Now these search histories are your real self, because here you don't pretend to be someone else. You are searching for yourself according to your needs, and this is what you really are, which you don't show in the small circle, which is your social media circle. And in some cases there's a huge difference between what you search and what you show, and if you compare both these things, then sometimes you pretend to be someone else for a very long time. This just makes you very sad and unhappy. Now here comes the last part, which is how we can prevent it and what we should do. The first thing is that people should get a proper education, that they don't have to be someone else It's completely fine to be unique and to be different from someone else, and their life doesn't depend on social media, the likes that you get and the comments that you receive. It has also been found out that boys are more likely to bully someone online, and girls, especially teenagers, are more likely to be the victim of bullies. So I think parents and teachers have a huge role to play in this. They can teach their children how to deal with social media. So that was it for today's video. So if you like this video, then give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Also, this topic was mostly research based, and if you want to read it, I'll give the link in the description box below. And thank you so much for watching this video.